Hello guys, this is Dipankar. Welcome to second video on TypeScript. So let us see what all we'll cover today. So so we'll cover variables, data types, classes, objects, methods, and interfaces. So these are very much common among all the languages which you are seeing today in server side, right? So if you'll see the languages like Java, C, C Sharp, or Ruby on Rails, PHP, they're all object oriented, right? They're designed in such a way like you can create a class, you can create an interface, you can create multiple methods, and you can use these methods from one class in different class, and all these things. The process of object oriented or the procedures of the you know the best part of object oriented is the reusability and readability that is being achieved by all these languages, right? So this was one thing which was lacking, which was not there in JavaScript. So that is being after coming this TypeScript, that is being covered. So now we can restructure our front end coding, our front end we can say your front end codes according to the object oriented concepts, right? So let us see basically what all common concepts we use. These are these common things: variables, data types, class, object, method, and interfaces. So these are the things which you are going to commonly use everywhere. Okay, so let's see what is inside there. So before going inside the variables and data types, so let's see what are the two things which are really crucial to know. Okay, one is identifiers, second is keywords. Okay, so identifiers are one which you are creating. So the names which you are giving to a variable, like you are storing a message called hello world inside a variable called message, and you are defining the message, right? So the msg, the yellow marked word msg, is something is an identifier. So the identifier has certain rules while creating them. Okay, so you need to follow them. One is no digit should be at start. Okay, so let's see in programmatical way. So what we should follow when we are talking about identifiers. Okay, so let's take the example. Let's take this example, class example. Let's use it. Okay, so uh, let's create one variable here. Let msg this type of string equals to hello, right? So it is very simple thing, like we are putting this value in this message variable, right? So now if I write 9 message, it's wrong. We cannot do that. Okay, so identifier shouldn't start with a number. Second, identifier can use only two symbols. So if I'll put dash, it's wrong. If I'll put underscore, it's acceptable. If I'll put dollar, yes. If I put it's no problem. If I'll put a digit after this, yes, I can even put this, right? But if I'll put a space and again I write this, yes, it cannot be. And one more thing here we need to follow is that a identifier should not be a, a keyword. Okay, so what is that? Then before that we should know what is a keyword. So keyword is nothing but reserved tokens. Okay, so reserved words by the language, because language is also having all the features, right? Without using these reserved words, language cannot also define it. So so to make the syntax easy, to make the syntax easier for people, they have defined these keywords which are having some meaning in the language. So these keywords we cannot use. Example of a keyword you can see. So different languages are having different number of keywords. So you have let, let is a keyword, var is a keyword, switch is a keyword, if is a keyword, this is a keyword, class itself is a keyword, interface is a keyword. So so these are all the keywords. Okay, so now can I write the keyword as a name? So that will be a duplicate thing, right? So it will be a if I write let if, see, an error, if class. cannot name it. Okay, it's already there, right? So it will be a kind of ambiguity, right? So that's why it is not allowed. The next thing is keyword. As I said, keywords are, this is a keyword, this is a keyword. Okay, so this is also a keyword. Okay, so this is also a keyword. Okay, these are all keywords which are having some meaning in it. So let us see then what is, next thing is what is a class. Okay, so class is a blueprint for creating objects. Okay, so let's say you are having an employee class. That means whatever actions or whatever attributes employee is having or employee is doing are there inside the class. So to access those things, you need an object. So this is what a class holds. So class is having, it's a collection of data members and member function by definition. So what does that mean? That means all these attributes of an employee, like employee name, employee age, employee salary, employee address, employee email id, these values are member variables, or you can say data members. Okay, and the functions are the processes that employee is doing. Employee is working on a project, employee is filling its time sheet, employees drawing withdrawing salary, employees taking leaves. So these are the processes that employee does, right? So these are member functions. Okay, now object. So object is an entity which represents class and helps to access the members of a class. So object is nothing but an entity of a class, and that represents the class. So it's just an instantiated variable which is of type class name. So if we'll create an object, what is its type should be? Its type should be class type. Okay, so that particular object will be helping you to access the data of the class. So let's see how we can do that. So let's clean this. Okay, then class. So let's say first pro. So this is a class we have defined. Okay, so in this class we are writing a function called print. So let's say print is a function. So inside this I'm just printing something, console dot log. Let's say inside this I am a class. Okay, so now we have designed a class. Now let's access this print function inside the class. And also what we can do is we can assign one variable saying, let's say value equals to of type string equals to something in class. Okay, let's say I want this value to be printed here. Okay, so okay, sorry. So this is a global class level. That's why we need this. Okay, we'll have this thing later. Let's first try this. Okay, so now first program is a class. So for this we will create a object on it, right? Let object of type first program equals to new first program of this. Let's say obj dot, then print will be available, right? So, and also you can see I can print out the other one, the other variable as well. So obj dot value, can I do this? Yes. So let's see. It is class example, right? Class examples dot ts. Is it class example tsc class example? My bad. Ts. Okay, now let's see node class example dot js. It's a compiled file now. You can see, right? both the values are available here. So from this we are able to know, like, this is okay, this is what we are utilizing day to day, you are going to utilize day to day programming when you are using TypeScript. Classes are most important things you should learn on TypeScript. Okay, so next thing is, let's go for interfaces and methods. Okay, so by definition, interface is a contract or a template that an entity should comply. Okay, so what does that mean? That means interface, if you'll see an example, interface some info is active name and edge. So what I'm defining is this some info is associated with these three kind of variables. So these three values are compulsory for some info. So if somebody is coming and assigning this particular and creating a particular variable with this template, then they have to provide this value. Okay, so that is compulsory. Let's see it is an example. Okay, so let's go to, okay, so let's just to make it short, I've created a interface earlier. Okay, so we can create another interface if you want, or we can go by this also. So I person is an interface which is having name, age, and a function with it. Okay, so when we are creating a customer variable, okay, let's say we are creating a customer variable here. Okay, and this customer variable, okay, so if you want, I can, let's create one more. Okay, so let's create a customer one. Okay, so this is of which type? Interface type. So what is the interface? This one. So if I'll put this and I'll start writing, it will give me that I have to provide the name as a value. So let's put something like uh, Ashok is the name. I'm just preferring here. Okay, so let's put second value. So what is the second one? Sorry, I put equals to. Okay, so next is, so if I put cursor here, you can see is missing following properties. I person is missing age and print, right? It is saying that you are missing these two values. So we have to provide all these values, which is a template above. That means it is compulsory to provide all the values which you're having. So I'll just provide this, and then I'll just put a function. Okay, so print, what is the function? The function says it's a type of string which is, sorry, which is return now anything. Hello, let's say I just want to print hello and the name. So customer one dot name. Okay, so if I'll use this particular value, this particular variable, so what I'll see, so let's console this customer one. Okay, let's see this, and then we can console dot log of customer one dot name. Okay, so let's see this. Okay, so I'll just clear this, and we will tcsc interface example dot ts. Okay, okay, so node interface example. Okay, so you can see whole data which is there is printed here, and the second value is printed here. Okay, so this is what we are going to get if we are using a template. Template makes it easier when the program is larger and you have lots of different data. So the data handling would be easier if we'll define an interface as a template. Okay, so let's go for the method. So what's the method? Method is the code block which actually helps to build business logic and establish communication between different entities. So as simple as that, like method is something which is allowing you to write the business logic. So it is something which is a doer, right? So you are using class and all for a template purpose, but method is the one which is a block of code which is running for a certain purpose. So we have already seen the method, right? We've already seen the method here by utilizing this, and this this is also a method. Okay, so there's nothing new in it. So it's a method. So it's a different way how we can define a method is some people use arrow functions. I have read this different type of method here. Okay, so you can see it's a constant hello. This is a method being assigned to this variable, and this is a method. This is a different arrow function method, and this is how you can define the method. Also, there are different approaches which you can utilize and use in your function. All are same, so there is no difference between these all. It is just same. And in this is the variable, this is the argument that you are using inside the method. Okay, so this I'll check this I put in the GitHub. You can take it from there, these templates. There's nothing much to explain, but yes, so these are the formats, but all are same, and that means this. Okay, so that's all about method. So next thing is, if you have any doubts in methods, please let me know in the comment box, that I can follow up with you guys. Okay, so let's see what is data types and variables. So data types are basically very much crucial and are really the new thing from JS. Okay, so and it's little bit tricky to define. It is not the same way how we define for Java and C sharp, right? So there's a colon and you give this, right? So let's see how we do it. So you can see here we are putting var age number, var username string. So it's a type of string, it's a type of number, it's a type of boolean. Okay, so this is how variables are. So there are three types of things variables. One is any variables means any data you can define. If you are not sure about what type of variable what type of data is going to come to your variable, you can define any. Later the value type would be its own data type, right? So next is predefined. So predefined are the variables which are void, null, undefined, number, string, boolean. So these are predefined. Predefined variables are something which are being used, which will be used almost all the times. Okay, so for any kind of values you will assign, like a hello world you are putting, so that's a string. You are putting true false, like the person is active or not, it's a true false, right? So it's a boolean type. You are putting a age, you are putting something like somebody's salary. So all these things are numbers, so you'll put number. Okay, so that is how it is. Okay, so the format should be same: var or let, variable type, variable name, colon, variable type, then the value equals to then the assignment. Okay, so next is user defined. So user defined we saw now. We assigned the I person. Okay, sorry, I'm in the JS. Sorry for this. My bad. So let's go to the TS file. Let's go to the TS. You can see this is what we have assigned. Okay, so this is what we have assigned. This variable type. Okay, data type is a class data type. So similarly we can utilize the same thing here. Okay, so now the next thing is variables. So basically TypeScript is having three type of variables. One is global, one is class level, and one is local. So global are the variables which are defined above this. Okay, above the class scope. Okay, it is outside the class scope, that is global. So which is inside the class scope is, but not inside any method or any constructor, those are class. And the locals are something which are inside a method. Okay, so this is the structure of global, local, and class variables. So we can see that I have made an example for it. It's pretty simple. We can run this example and see the same example I'm showing here. So this is a global variable, this is a class level variable, and this is a local variable. Don't get confused with the static. Static is a keyword that we'll discuss later, but yes, this is what it is. Okay, so if you want to see this, just do this compilation. Let's see variable example.ts. Okay, so let's change this to node to execute. Okay, variable example set is sorry, bad. It should be JS, then this. Okay, so this is what. Okay, so this function anyways is coming because we don't have a parenthesis here. It is taking the variable name, function name. What is the type it is asking? Okay, what is the object type? So let's save it and do this compilation again, and then okay, so this is what it is. Okay, so it's cool. Okay, so all these variables that you can see and you can practice. I'll just upload this to the GitHub, and I'll put the GitHub link in the description. Okay, so that's all for the day, guys. We'll see you later. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.